Good morning, everyone. Chapter 4, Understanding Laws. To know about laws and do laws apply to all. Laws have a great importance, especially in democracy, where the state wants to give the best to its citizen. Laws no doubt limit us in not doing something, but at the same time, they stop other for doing anything wrong. Anything wrong against us. Okay? They then are quite necessary to regulate our lives as well as ensure all our freedoms. Think for a while, there are no laws to regulate traffic on the road. So what happened? What would happen? Tell me. That chaos, confusion, or delays, or accident, etc. As we have seen in the last chapter, that it is a parliament where the makes new laws and makes and the amendment in old one, and those are doing all this thing in the parliament. They are elected representative of the elected representative by the people. Let us understand laws in a proper perspective. What is laws and how the laws are important in our life.
And perhaps even the laws dealing with buying and selling of property. We now know that the parliament is in charge of making laws. Do these laws apply to everyone? How do new laws come into being? Could there be laws that are unpopular or
Controversial.
controversial? What should be as
Let us understand, do laws apply to all through this situation. The situation like this, a government official helps his son into hiding. Because why the government official helps his son? Because his son has been given 10-year jail sentence by district court for a crime that he has committed. So anything wrong done by his son, so that is why he had tried to help his son, or he help his son and hide his son. Do you think that is the government official action were right? Should his son be exempt from the law just because his father is economically and politically powerful? Now tell me, this is right? It is right? Tell me, everyone. Any one of you, it is right? Yes, Pavitra?
No, ma'am, it's not right.
Yes, it is not right, because this is totally or clearly case of violation of law. Okay, as you read unit 1, the member of constituent assembly were agreed there should be no arbitrary exercise of power in independent India. What is the meaning of arbitrary? That change in laws according to your suitability or your requirement. It should not be in the our India. Okay. Therefore, instituted several provisions in the constitution that would establish the rule of law. What is the meaning of rule of law? That the laws for everyone equal. The laws though for equally for everyone. It is not like that the laws for the same crime, same violation of the law, the laws is different for the any domestic worker and for different for the any government official. No, the laws to apply all on same, and it is equal for all. This is the meaning of rule of law. The most important these was that all persons in independent India are equal before law. Everyone please underline what is the meaning of the rule of law. That everyone is equal before law. All people are equal before law. Because law cannot discriminate a person between person on the basis of their religion, caste, color, economic background, or place of birth, or on the basis of their designation. Fine. So what is the rule of law mean? That all laws apply equally to all citizens of the country. No one can be above the law. Neither a government official or the wealthy person or even the president of the India or the president of a country is above the law. Any crime or the violation of law has a specific punishment which is given in our constitution. So the each and every crime having a specific punishment, and the articles given the particular violation of crime is there, so the punishment is according to the crime is written in the constitution, in the article. So the process is going through that according to that rule regulation. So the any crime or the violation of law has a specific punishment as well as the process through which the guilty or the person has to be established. But was it always like this? So it is not like that if the president does any crime, so the punishment for the president is different comparatively, or if we compare with the ordinary people. No, the punishment for the same crime is same. So I hope it is understood by all. What does it mean? What is the rule of law? In ancient India, there were innumerable and often overlapping local laws. Different communities enjoyed different degree of autonomy in administrating these laws among their own. In some cases, the punishment that two persons receive for the same crime varied depending on their caste background. So it is clearly show that the rule of law is not there that time. With the lower caste being more harshly punished, okay, penalized means punished, and this slowly began to change as this system of the law began to further evolve during colonial period. For example, like the Indian Constitution tried to establish the rule of law. The ordinary means that the person in independent India are equal before the law. All laws apply equally to all citizens of the country. All citizens of the country. So how it possible that the people in ancient time, the people were the laws were different for the different people on the basis and the punishment given on the basis of their background, their economic background or their caste system, on the basis of the person caste. So it's mean no rule of law. If there is written, there is the thing is given, the rule of law, that nobody is above law, whether he is a high government or officially or wealthy person. If we adopt or follow this definition, it's mean in the ancient time the rule of law were not in the society, because the people were punished. The two people received the same crime and the varied punishment, because the punishment on the basis of their caste background. It is often believed the British colonialists who introduced the rule of law. So the first who introduced rule of law? The British colonialists, okay, administrators. The historian have disputed this claim on the several grounds. How they can say, the historians said that they were not maintained rule of law. Okay, two of which include the first, the colonial law was arbitrary. And the second, that the Indian nationalists play a prominent role in the development of legal sphere in the British India. So first we should let understand the law was arbitrary. What does this mean? There is a lot of changes in the laws in the British time. The law was not fixed. The punishment was not fixed. So that is why we can say the law was arbitrary. Okay. What is the meaning of this? That arbitrariness that continued on the exit at the part of British law Sedition Act 1870. How the Sedition Act 1870 show the colonial law was arbitrary. Okay, let us see. The idea of sedition was broadly understood with this act. Any person protesting or criticizing the British government could be arrested without due trial. What is this? It means that if the person is criticizing the British policy, so that person arrested by the police. I'm talking about the British rule. Okay, that person was arrested by the police. Why? And the person was not allowed for the trial to give their अपनी सफाई में कुछ कह सके. No, they were not allowed. So that shows the arbitrary. That is only for the Indians. Fine. Let us look this Rowlatt Act. Okay. Pavitra, can you read Rowlatt Act? Another example of British arbitrary which show. Yes.
Another example of British arbitrarism was the Rowlatt Act, which allowed the British government to imprison people without the trial. Indian nationalists, including Mahatma Gandhi, were vehement in their opposition to the Rowlatt Bill. Despite the large number of protests, the Rowlatt Act came into effect on 10th March 1919 in Punjab. Protests against this act continued quietly actively, and on April 10, two leaders of the movement, Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu, were arrested. To protest these arrests, a public meeting was held on 13 April at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. General Dyer entered the park with his troops. They closed the only exit, and without giving any warning, General Dyer ordered the troops to fire. Several hundreds of people died in this gunfire, and many more were wounded, including women and children. This painting shows troops firing on the people during the Jallianwala Bagh massacre.
Thank you, Pavitra. Look at this picture, which show the incidents of Jallianwala Bagh. Many people were killed on the order of General Dyer. And you can see the many people save their life through this well, and everyone want to save from that fires, and they they want to search they were searching the safe place. Okay. What happened that day, which show the arbitrariness of the Rowlatt Act, which allowed the British government to imprison person without due trial. Indian nationalists, including Mahatma Gandhi, were vehement in this in their opposition to Rowlatt Bill. Rowlatt Act was Rowlatt Bill that was passed by the British government, that they arrest any person without the trial. Despite the large number of protests, the Rowlatt Act came into effect on 10th March 1990. So on against this, the people, the Punjab protests against this act continued quite actively, and on April 10, two leaders of this movement, named these two leaders, Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu, were arrested. Why? Because they were criticized this act, and which act introduced by the Britishers. So they criticized this act. That is why they were arrested by the British government. As a according to this act, any person protesting or criticizing the British government could be arrested without due trial. So when they were arrested by the British to protest their arrest, the public meeting was held in 13 April at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. So the people protesting against this arrest, to supported the Satyapal and Dr. Saifuddin. So what that was not accepted by General Dyer. So General Dyer entered the park with his troops, with his their people. They closed the only exit without giving any warning to local people. There in that park only one gate for exit, and the General Dyer ordered to its troops to close that and to open fire on the public. So that several hundred of the people died in this gunfire. Many more were wounded, including women and children. This painting shows the fire on people during Jallian Bagh massacre. Okay, wait. Look at these pics. Many people were killed. Still the evidence of that bullets on the wall. You can see this picture. Many people drawn in this well. And that park was enclosed by the huge wall. This pillar on the memory of those people, those sacrificed their life in that Jallianwala Bagh. Still the bullet evidence on the walls, bullet marks on the wall.